So in verse 82 and 83, 82 we learn bhav karma, dravya karma, and how it is all the system of bondage and the programming, everything. In verse 84, so in verse 82, 83, the Guru explained the process of karmic bondage and proved that accumulated karmas give fruit on their own at the right time. Proving that the soul is the receiver of the fruits of auspicious and inauspicious karmas through a familiar example, the Guru says.
एक रंग ने एक ध्रुव ए आदि जे भेद कारण विना न कार्यते तेज शुभाशुभ वेद.
एक rank pauper beggar. રાંકડો છે, ભિખારી છે. So rank means beggar, and Rup means king. Nrupati, Nrup means Nru is actually man, human, and Nru no Pati means the king. The king is called the Pati of all his subjects. So Nrup, Nrupati. And Param Krupadeva has used many places. Nrupati jitata jitiye dal purane adhikar. Nrupachandra Prabhu. Because for Rai also means, Raichand, no, Rai means Raja. So Nrupachandra Prapanch. Nrupachandra Prapanch means the author's name, the poet's name, Nrupachandra. It's a system, whenever you compose a song, the last verse, like Meera ke by Giridhar Nagar, Meera Bai na somewhere. So the name has to be woven. So in the initial poems which Param Kupadev has written, he went according to this system. Then it didn't feel like. But Shubha Shitalata Mayachayam, the Mokshmala Pad, so Nrupachandra Prapancha Ananta Daho. Naukar mantra નું સ્મરણ કરીને જિનેશ્વરની ભક્તિ કરીને આ આખા પ્રપંચને બાળી નાખો. It says Nrupachandra. Nrupachandra, Nrup, Raja, so Rai, and Chandra, Rai, Chandra, Raj Chandra. Right? So Nrup means, here we don't need all this. Nrup means king. And rank means beggar. PP याद रखो छे. Pauper and prince. So, एक rank, one person is poor. एक nrup, another person is a king. A Adiji Bhed, similar differences are observed in the world, are seen. Karan vina na karyate. All these are effects, they should certainly have a cause. Karan vina, without a cause, there is no effect, and all these disparities and diversities and differences are effects. So all these effects must have a cause. Why is this? Now why you are rich, we can tell. Because, she didn't charge her patients well, or she didn't have so many patients. But why were you born in a rich family? Why was that person born in a poor family? Now why you are poor, rich, 30 years you didn't do anything, so you are a pauper. You just been doing yoga and dancing and meditation and all, not working, not earning. So now I can understand. But why were you born in USA? Why? Why you were not born in Dharavi, Chupatpatti? Why? So for this effect, you need to contemplate or ponder or reflect on some cause. And Param Kupadev says, on contemplating, you will realize Teja Shubha Shubha Vedya. Likewise, the results of good and bad karmas are experienced. We'll see it. It's very easy. Short meaning, one person is a pauper and another is a prince. PP to yaad rakhjo. And similar differences are observed in the world. No, likewise, the result of good and bad karmas are experienced because never anything happens without a reason. Such differences prove that there is fruition of auspicious and inauspicious karmas of the past, as effects is not possible without a cause. So, in simple words, the Guru points out that the world consists of differences, disparities, diversities. Look, 3D. Differences you see, diversities you see, disparities you see. In every possible state you can imagine. Everywhere you will get diversities, differences, disparities. One is rich, one is poor. One is unaware of the extent of his wealth. ક્યાં ક્યાં વ્યાજે મૂક્યા છે ઋષિતને પૂછો. ઊભો કર. હવે થોડું ફ્રેશ થઈ જાય, ચાલો બહુ થઈ ગયું. ટોટલ ક્યાં ક્યાં ઘરો છે, કેટલા દાગીના છે, કેટલા શેર્સ છે, કેટલા લોકોને વ્યાજે પૈસા આપ્યા છે જે લેવાના છે. See, he does not know the extent of his wealth. He is not even aware. આપણે તો ખબર હોય કે 500 રૂપિયા વોલેટમાં છે ને 100 રૂપિયા બેંકમાં છે, બસ. So why is this difference? One person does not even, again, I like to say it again and again, does not know the extent of his wealth. કે બાપા એટલું બધું છે ખબર જ નથી. આ હોંગકોંગ, લંડન ને શું મુંબઈ જેટલું તો જસ્ટ વાતો થતી હશે એટલે તને ખબર હશે. પણ એવું તો બીજું કેટલી જગ્યાએ જમીન અહીંયા લીધી છે ને આને આપ્યા છે ને આ કમાય ત્યારે આપી દેજો ને થાય ત્યારે આપી દેજો, એવા તો બીજા કેટલા છે, લખીને તો જજો. હા, બગા શકે. So he knows that it is not possible that his brain can. Why are you denying it? It's not your fault. You must have worked hard for it in your past life. Why do you want to deny? છે તો છે. હા, કોઈ પ્રભુ ભક્તિ કરી હશે, કોઈ કેવી ધર્મ ભાવના સેવી હશે પૂર્વ ભાવમાં, જેનું ફળ તો ભોગવે છે. So I am just showing a disparity. I am not showing you have looted people and done this. I am not saying that. You don't need to regret or something. But why is that some people are even not aware of the extent of their wealth? And why is it that some people can't afford even a square meal a day? So to a common eye, it seems unfair, unjustifiable, discriminatory. For a common eye who don't know the karmic sciences, why me? Why me? બધી ચીજમાં. See, a person having Vitrag Bhagavan Sharan, knowing the Vitrag philosophy, if that person says, મને જ કેમ આવું થયું, young age માં જ કેમ થયું, આ થયું, then I think હજી first day of his Sharan has not begun. Why me? Then what were you doing when the karma philosophy was taught to you? Understand? These are basis of karmic philosophy. Why ek rank and ek roop? Why? એ આદિ જે ભેદ, એ આદિ એટલે એવા તો many situationsમાં you will see that ભેદ. One is intelligent, one is foolish. અત્યારના જ એને પૂછો તો ધડ બોલી શકે ને પેલો 5 વાર રિવિઝન કરે પછી બી બ્લેન્ક થઈ જાય. So why this? It seems, so common eye, it seems unfair. કે કેવી રીતે બિચારો ચીટ્સ બનાવે તો એ ભૂલી જાય કે સાલી ચીટ ક્યાં રાખી છે. વાય? અને વાય પેલાની ફોટોજેનિક મેમરી હોય કે આમ બરાબર કઈ લાઈન પર આ વર્ડ છે, કયા પેજ પર કયા લાઈન. વાય ધીસ ભેદ? સેમ એટમોસ્ફિયર, સેમ પેરેન્ટ્સ, સેમ ટ્યુશનિંગ, એવરીથિંગ સેમ, બધું સેમ હોવા છતાં વાય? So for common people, for a layman, everything seems quite unfair, unjustifiable, And so many times we will rail against it also. ભગવાન ભગવાન જેવું કાંઈ નથી ને તો આવું ઇન્જસ્ટિસ કે અહીંયા આમ એઠું છોડો છો અને પેલા લોકોને ખીચડી માટે મારામારી કરે. This was the time we started the khichdis and everything. Right, exactly 1 year back, this was the time. And the Bay Area was actually the khichdi collection area. એટલે એને બે એરિયા કરી, પછી મળવા માટે મેં બે એરિયા કર્યું, પછી there we find puddles of water, એટલે we call it Bay Area. હવે પેલું થોડું ગટરનું પાણી આવતું હોય એટલે આપણે બે કહી દઈએ છીએ, ડટી બે, બોમ્બે નહીં. So પેલું પોર્ચુગીઝને દહેજમાં આપી દીધું ને બોમ્બે, those 7 islands કે કેટલા, 7 islands, right? 4 islands કે 7? હા. So 7 islands were in the custody of the Portuguese. But that girl married a British boy. So દહેજમાં they gave it to the British. અને એ રીતે બોમ્બે થયું. So બોમ્બે, bomb. ફ્રેન્ચ હોય તો બોન્ડ હોય અને પોર્ચુગીઝ હોય તો બોમ્બ. ગુડ બે. If I have to impart all this gender knowledge, I'll take 12 12 vaccine. I'll have to take the 12 vaccine. It was a bay, and because it was a Sundar Bay, so Bombay. ગુડ ઇવનિંગ આપણે કહીએ, શું કહીએ ગુડ ઇવનિંગ માટે? ગુડ નાઇટ માટે શું કહેવાય? બોન્ડ હોય. તો બધું ફ્રેન્ચમાં બધું બોન્ડ હોય. થોડું નીચે ઉતરો પોર્ચુગલ આગળ તો બોમ્બ થઈ જાય બધું. Whatever. So Guru indicates it's all because of karma. All these bhed, all these disparities, diversities, differences you see, it's all because of the karmas. What you are is because of your past karmas, and what you do is going to be, it will decide what you will get in your next birth, what you will be in the next birth. So all actions are linked with each other through a chain of cause and effect. So this is shown in this verse. We'll go over it fast. So the Guru wants to prove that the results of the karmas, good or bad, unmistakably has to be experienced by the soul. This is what he wants to prove in this verse. No exception. So he's saying, don't you observe differences and disparities in the world? Everyone says, in every matter you can say. Every matter. So there are innumerable living beings in the world, but none are identical. Innumerable. ચલો હ્યુમન બીંગ્સ જ કેટલા કીધા? 7 અબજ કે શું કીધું? 7.5 billion. So many human beings. Will you believe every ant is different? No two ants are identical. આપણે કોઈ દિવસ એવી રીતે જોયું જ નથી. આપણે એન્ટ્સ એટલે એક જ પિક્ચર આંખ સામે આવે બસ. બર્ડ્સ, every crow is different. I'm not saying different birds. A flock of birds, lot of crows, every crow is different. None are identical. Horses. Horse lovers ને પૂછો, આમ ખબર પડી જાય એ લોકોને કે આ મારો હોર્સ છે, આ છે. આપણે તો ખાલી બ્રાઉન હોર્સ, બ્લેક હોર્સ, વ્હાઇટ હોર્સ, મિક્સ એ. Because horse, આ 3 differentiation કરવામાં તો આપણે લાગે we know so much about horses. None are identical. Because everyone's karmas are different. Every soul's karmas are different. So you need to observe it minutely. More you stay in touch with them, you'll realize કે આનો અવાજ જુદો છે, આનો આવું છે. So if in insects, if in birds, if in animals, even in human beings, you see the difference in the height, complexion, size, strength, facial features, handprint, mental capacities, concepts, emotions, aspirations. એક હજી મોટી ગાડી ઈચ્છે છે, એક રિટાયર થવાનું ઈચ્છે છે. Everyone is different. So what is the cause of this disparity, these differences? That is the question here. So some children born in poor families. We are talking of children born. Because there the answers change. If you say, what at 30 years, why you are not so rich? So you might have many other reasons, which is very, very evident to us. But why were you born in that family? Why were you not born somewhere in India, in some village in India? So doctor શું એ એને ખબર નહીં હોતી. So whole life changed because you were born there. So why were you born there? Sometimes you see dogs living in huge mansions. They choose the food they want to eat. They rest for how much ever time they want to rest. And when they want to roam, there are special people designated to take them. પેલું બેગ લઈને સાથે સાથે પછી પેલું પૂ બૂ કશે કરીને લે એના માટે. ઓર એ કાર્સમાં ઘૂમવા માટે લઈ જાય. And imagine the owner of that dog. They live in big houses, they live in small offices. They eat something of their own choice, they don't get time to eat. They get the time to rest, that fellow, the owner does not have time to rest. They can roam anywhere at any time, they just need to bark a little bit and the person will take them. That fellow has no time to go to Maldives for 3 days. A vacation. Paper ઉપર કોણ પુણ્યશાલી? The owner, obviously. And actually વેદ્ય, શુભાશુભ વેદ્ય ભોગવે છે કોણ? ડોગ. અને સાલું કોઈ ટેન્શન નહીં. કોવિડનું બી ટેન્શન નથી, કારણ કે હજી કોવિડ એનિમલ્સમાં I've not heard, little bit I've heard, but nothing, human beings. તો પેલો બિચારો માસ્ક પહેરીને પડતો હોય, પેલો કૂતરો તો ભો 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 આમ કરે, એને કોઈ માસ્ક પહેરવાની જરૂર. અત્યારના તો એવું છે કે એ વધારે પુણ્યશાળી છે અને આપણે બધું એ છે. એને ન સોશિયલ ડિસ્ટન્સિંગ રાખવાનું, ન એને હાથ પગ ધોવાના, પીપી સૂટ શું છે એ તો એને ખબર નથી. વોટ ઇઝ પીપી? વોટ? પર્સનલ પ્રોટેક્શન ઇક્વિપમેન્ટ. યા એ એને કાંઈ ખબર નથી. કેવો પુણ્ય ભોગવે છે જો. So some are rich, some are poor, some are intelligent, some are foolish, some are beautiful, some are ugly, some are healthy, some are sick. But that differences, there has to be some cause, because all these are effects. And the law of causation says there can be no effect without a cause. All these are effects. We see disparities and differences in the effects, so it must have a cause. And what is that cause? Contemplating deeply upon what can be the cause of this evident disparities in the world, the Guru says, you will realize it can be no other cause than the manifestation of the past karmas. I would not only use the word past karmas, because past karma no uday. Till the past karmas are there with you, you will not see these effects. But once that it starts giving its results manifested, so what can be the cause of these differences or disparities or diversities in the world, which is observed even by an ordinary person? So deeply reflecting on it, you will realize it is Shubha Shubh Karma, manifestation of the auspicious and the inauspicious, or the good or the bad, or the punya and pap karmas. So by the unfailing law, as you sow, so shall you reap. તમે જે કર્યું હશે એ તમે ભોગવશો. This is the unfailing law accepted by logic. So when I had explained the karma philosophy, I don't know if you have heard that Udghosh, it is as you sow, so shall you reap. But if you really want to do Shraddha in karma philosophy, ulta jao. What you are reaping is what you had sown. Because the sowing part is invisible. The reaping is experiential. So instead of going this way, if you go this way, what you are experiencing was sown by you only in the past. And that is the way you start erasing, increase your erasing power. Start erasing why me, why me, why me. મહારાજ કરેલા ભગવાને કહી દીધું છે મહારાજ કરે ભીષ્મ પિતામહે પણ એના જ કર્મ ભોગવ્યા ગાંધારીએ પણ એના જ સીતાએ પણ એના જ દ્રૌપદીએ પણ એના જ અને હું પણ મારા જ કર્મ ભોગું છું. So many things we can't see because of the Gnanavaniya karma, but because of our Saubhagya karma, we have got Bhagwan who has taught us the karmic philosophy. So, as you sow, so shall you reap. Every soul has to enjoy or suffer, meaning receive, the fruits of the good and bad karmas he has done in the past. He certainly has to bear the fruits in the manner he created it. J intensity he created, he has to experience the same intensity. જેટલો ટાઈમ એ પ્રમાણેનું જે બી હોય તે sometimes because of intensity you do it for 1 second and you have to bhogo 5 for 1 year. Rishabdev Bhagwan's example only, Varshitap and all that. Only 13 ઘડી I think અને 13 months સુધી ભોગવવું પડે એટલે તો વર્ષિતપ કહીએ આપણે. 13 ઘડી, 1 ઘડી is 24 minutes. So that you know it. So definitely one has to bear the fruits of his actions, of his past karmas. So in 3 verses, Bhagavan explained how the karmas are associated, and though they are lifeless, still it can inflict results. And it does show result because it's evident even to a common eye. You only need to accept this as the cause. So the first doubt or the first argument is answered.
एक रंग ने एक नृप ए आदि जे भेद कारण विना न कार्यते तेज शुभाशुभ वेद